All right, what's up, YouTube? All right, so what I'm about to say is going to be controversial, and it's going to definitely have some negative backlash. But I really don't care at this point. I really don't. What I'm about to say needs to be said, and it won't be the first time that somebody has called me something without knowing who I am or my character, racist or bigot. It's being thrown around so much right now. It doesn't even have any meaning anymore. Basically, you can be called a racist simply because you disagree with somebody. So therefore, you must be racist. It's Racism is used as a club now to shut down any kind of conversation. So what people say about me, that it doesn't mean anything, because the people that are close to me uh, know who I am, know what I'm about. So if you don't know me, you can kiss my, because you don't know me. I haven't supported Black Lives Matter for quite some time. All right. I support the idea. I do not support the movement. And like I said, I haven't in quite some time. I'm a firm believer in all lives matter. I don't think that is something that is necessarily a bad thing to say, because black lives are encompassed in all lives. So if you say all lives matter, you're including black lives. I don't know of a single person who doesn't condemn bad cop behavior. I don't know of a single person who doesn't condemn police brutality if it actually is police brutality. The problem is so many people take so many cases that aren't police brutality and lump them in with police brutality when that's just not the case. And it's become politicized. Any black person who is killed by cops is suddenly just lumped in to police brutality. That was never more apparent than when you had people trying to say that cops could not defend themselves. In the case of like Rashard Brooks, what happened to George Floyd was 100% police brutality. There wasn't even a question about it. And it received, I would almost be willing to bet, 99.9% just universal condemnation. Because you're always going to have some outliers that are just idiots. Okay? But then when you have someone like Rashard Brooks who attacks cops, he resists arrest, attacks cops, takes a weapon off the cop, fires it at the cop, and ends up getting shot by the cops, and all of a sudden that's lumped in with police brutality like George Floyd. No. Not no, but hell no. And now the idea of Black Lives Matter has become so toxic. It's really gotten more toxic as time went. The reason I stopped believing in or giving support to Black Lives Matter was when they released their end demands that white people should do. When it basically said, for all intents and purposes, we want your shit. That's what it was. We don't want to earn it. We want you to give us stuff. And then it went on to basically just insulting white people and talking about how to be ultimate Karens. I mean, seriously, they basically, you go out of your way to find, I guess, racist or what they would deem racist or whatever people in the workforce just to get them fired. That's just stupid. Then there was another Black Lives Matter leader, and she basically was doing nothing but insulting white people, saying that white people weren't human, that we were genetic defects. So basically, Black Lives Matter has morphed into anti-white. The only time Black Lives Matter, and even Don Lemon touched on this, is when those black lives are taken by cops. You have Black Lives Matter shutting down roads, setting up illegal blockades. In Atlanta, there was like an 8-year-old girl in a car that got caught into some crossfire between some Black Lives Matter people, and one of the members of Black Lives Matter ended up shooting into that car. Whether intentional or not, they fired into a vehicle that struck an 8-year-old girl. But they were all pissed off and they were all mad about that cop when he fired at Rashard Brooks. One single round went astray, struck a window in a truck, and nobody was hurt. Now, granted, he missed and it went there. That was unintentional. But this guy, whoever, was firing in Atlanta, they were shooting with this car in the crossfire. They didn't care. They didn't care who was in the vehicle. What the cop did was an accident. What they were doing was intentionally firing at another person on the other side of this car with the car in the middle. They were in the crossfire and did not give a shit. Then, and this just happened, a woman, her boyfriend or husband or whoever, I believe it was just her boyfriend, her partner, was walking with their daughter or her daughter. I don't know if it was their daughter, but they had a little girl with them, and it was the daughter of the woman. So they walk across these 5 people or 6 people, and they're shouting Black Lives Matter. And the woman just says, all lives matter. And they were so offended by that they got into an argument. One of the Black Lives Matter people pulls a gun. Luckily, the man who was with the woman, he is also armed. He pulls his gun, but nothing really popped off. Now, here's what's so bad. They were such cowards that the Black Lives Matter people left. This family thinks that everything is okay and is now squashed and just life went on. But nah, what did these people do? The Black Lives Matter people went ahead, got hidden, and ambushed these people. They ended up shooting the woman, and one of the Browns struck her in the head, killing her in front of the 3-year-old girl, or their daughter. I believe she was 3. But they ended up shooting her in front of her daughter. I can't respect a group that has members and people supporting it that do shit like that. I can't get behind that. Especially when you say in your mission statement that you want to destroy the nuclear family. And that you believe in justice and all this other stuff. And equality, and that's what you're fighting for. And then You literally shoot somebody because they say all lives matter. That's apparently enough of a reason for a death sentence. Now, you want to talk about something that doesn't make sense. So, when police kill somebody for resisting arrest, the language that they like to use is resisting arrest shouldn't be a death sentence. That's what they say. Resisting arrest shouldn't be a death sentence. But apparently saying all lives matter is a death sentence? Nah. I can't get behind that. And if you are still supporting this group, what does that say about you? Seriously, what does that say about you? The idea that this group has morphed from what I'm hoping that it originally started with good intentions, but what it is now isn't the same. And that's a sad fact. But I haven't heard not one person from Black Lives Matter come out and condemn any of this violence. The 8-year-old in Atlanta getting shot up, nothing. The woman walking with her daughter getting murdered in front of her daughter by a bunch of cowards that ambushed them. Nah. I love my friends that are black. I consider them my family. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my black friends that I grew up with, that their families have treated me like I was one of their own. You know, celebrating Christmas together, celebrating Thanksgiving together, hanging out at their house, playing video games, going to the mall, going to the clubs, having barbecues, doing everything, feeling like I was a part of the family because they adopted me in, basically. You know what I'm saying? They took me in. And my family doing the same to them. My family treating my black friends like they were one of ours. And I still, to this day, love my black family. But I can't get behind this. I can't support a group who wants to segregate themselves. I can't do it. You know, good people fought and died to desegregate the United States. But now, because that term separate but equal, okay? That used to be a racist thing. But now, when you say something like all lives matter and it's inclusive with everybody, that is seen as bad. But Black Lives Matter, which is separating black lives from all other lives, it's segregating itself. And somehow, that's good. Nah. And on top of, like I said, all that, all the death and stuff surrounding these groups now, all these people committing harm that are supporters and fall in line with Black Lives, and Black Lives literally saying nothing. Can't get behind that. I can't support that. If you can, and I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. I don't know what to say.